Hello guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, and welcome back to this video where I like to share with you the changes that are happening on this channel, and there is a reason why, and probably in this video I would like to share my insecurities, if you want to, or my doubts. I left USA about almost a year ago, will be next month, and I moved to Italy. So I'm no longer in USA. I'm recording from my home in Italy. It's a medieval house with half a meter of walls where I do not have internet inside the house. So in order to record videos, I have to record them somewhere, and then I have to go to a place with the internet and upload them for you. So this is the reason why you cannot see lives, because I don't have internet right now at this precise moment. I have not have internet at home since last year, and it's a bit challenging to get used to that. But let's go back to the beginning. Why I moved to USA and what is going on with this channel. What can you expect? I like to explain you the changes that you are seeing and you're gonna see from now on in this channel. And I'm gonna share a little bit about my life and the changes that I'm going through. So in 2023, I had a very important job offer, I would say. Back then I was thinking that was important. Right now I don't think it's important anymore. But so if we want to talk about success in languages, and if we want to talk about the ladder of success and the goal and the aim of providing a language services in the USA, I believe like the highest level of providing services for this country is working for the government. Not in this country, in any country. Usually in every country there is this field where you could provide services for the government, independently what, if it's going to be medical, legal, I don't know, administrative. I think like everyone who work in any field whatsoever, they want to sell their services, especially freelance interpreter for the government. And so one of the reasons why I wanted to do this, it was because of the money. The truth is that I don't know how much they pay, but at this precise moment, I am thinking I would not work for this country for any amount of money. I don't want to. It's my choice. Back then, I wanted to buy a house in 2023, so I received a job offer from a very big governmental agency, actually from two of those agencies, but I ended up interacting with only one of them. The first agency that contacted me was intelligence agency back in 2008. It was 2 years after I was in the USA. And from them I was informed that in order to work for those jobs in USA, you have to be a citizen. In 2008, I was not a citizen, so I just dropped the idea of me earning dignity money after studying and having 3 master's degrees. I was like, okay, I'm not a citizen. I'm not even gonna bother. And I searched the process of becoming a citizen and whatnot. And I was finally a citizen in 2022. And right after that, I received a very important, I will call this a job offer. And I proceed with the language tests and all the process, which lasts probably a year and a half to 2 years. And I went through those language tests successfully. And somewhere there in this process, but I would tell you probably after my first language test, which was Russian, the first portion for the defense language proficiency test, after I passed this test, it was, nobody told me that I passed it. Usually they don't tell you you successfully passed, but they book you for the next test, which means that you have passed it. And so when I knew I passed it, I noticed that there is lack of transparency in the way of this agency interacted with me. And there was this kind of a game playing, or planning a games, or playing a games, or just shadiness. I would use this word generally. And so from this moment on, after I did my first Russian exam, which was in November of 2022, I knew inside of me, I was like, do I really want to work for them? I start to have this doubt, very profound doubt. And as I am very solid person, I am very down to earth, I decided not to just drop it then and there at the first red flag, but I decided to give it a chance and to proceed with the language test. And I promised to myself that even if I don't like this treatment right away from this agency, and I am a person who believes that from the beginning, forgive me guys, there are some American below my window speaking very loud. We're in Italy, I don't know what's going on, it's raining outside. So I have to make a pause here, just a moment. So I decided not to drop this opportunity, which I considered probably the opportunity of my life at this moment back and then, because I knew that if I say no, I will never go back. So I decided to evaluate thoroughly this agency and how they interact and their behaviors with me before I actually say no. I wanted to be sure that I don't want to be on this level in this country. So I proceed with the tests and I proceed with their process of, how to say, of hiring. It's kind of shady and playing game type of behavior. I decided that I don't want to just drop it at the first red flag. I don't know if you could hear, but it's raining in Italy, and that's why I'm not recording in my olive garden. I'm recording from home. But so I decided to proceed with the tests and just keep observing how it's like to work for this agency. And so, or how it's like to interact, because at this point I was not working yet, but usually in my perception you can understand right from the beginning if the agency is not serious and plays some type of a game. This is the standard of this agency, and the people who are hired subconsciously follow it, even if they are not informed about it. So, because let's say I believe that the bosses or the managers set a personal example on how to behave. And so I decided to proceed with the test. I did not like drop this job opportunity. Back then I considered the job of my life. Now I believe that it was just a big error, this whole thing, even interacting with this agency. But anyways, so I proceed with these tests and I passed the Defense Language Proficiency test for Russian and English, Italian and English, and I believe I was about to do the Bulgarian and English test. And this is when I realized that I don't want to provide services for this governmental agency. And I declined the job. I declined the process. I said it's not for me. And after this, I become a victim of a mobbing, stalking, harassing, any type of a psychological abuse that you can imagine. Some of it legal and some of it not legal, psychological, physical, emotional. and so on. And I was obliged to leave USA, to leave, mean to go away from it. I was invited by the workers or the employees of this agency to leave the country. They would tell me that I have no life in USA, and they make sure I don't have life. There was damages to my property, my car, and so it became really very heavy and too much. Of course, I did try to contact the police. However, I realized that the police, it's also part of this stalking attitude or mobbing, if you want to, and harassing. And there was no protection for me in this country. I was just a victim of this persistent, different type of abuse. And I had to leave. So I left USA because I was obliged by this agency to do so, and I was obliged to renounce my citizenship because of the extreme cruelty and abuse that I was victim of. And because of that, guys, I moved to Italy. And the last 8 months, I have been dealing with different ways of attempting to renounce my citizenship. And for some reason, the US government keep neglecting my request for quite some time, until I actually contacted this agency and request them to let me go, because I am not interested to work for their government. So there is no way of being a citizen for a country that its government is mobbing me and stalking me and harassing me. Because I said no, and they keep pressuring me to enter in this circle and work for this agency and whatnot, I decided to request them directly to stop obstacling me and just let me renounce, because if they don't, another way of renouncing my citizenship was to become a military for another government. And I guess they did not want me to do this. I also didn't want to do this, or go to Russia and seek asylum, which I also didn't want to do. So for some reason, they decided to respond after August, September, October, after a few months of neglecting me, if I want to say that, or not replying. And in the end of the day, I was able to renounce the citizenship paying, and I am finally done with this process. It has been extremely tedious, extremely difficult, extremely challenging. So that's why you have seen there was periods my channel was off. I disconnected the advertisement. I've been considering to close this YouTube channel. I've been living this tremendous amount of stress and just discomfort, if you want to. It's very challenging to change from one country to another. But in the end of the day, of course, you saw this ons and off of my YouTube channel. You saw some changes. And the reason why is that my life has been extremely stressful, and I have been extremely unstable with my life situation, with having no documents in Europe, no residency and whatnot. I experienced extreme challenges with the people that I trusted here in Italy. And overall, it's been extremely difficult for me the past 9 months or so, 10, 11 months, almost past year. 2nd of August, next week will be 1 year. It's been extremely challenging to solve this and to get out of this grip of this agency. So saying that, I am finally no longer US citizen. I am happy to announce this. I am very proud that I am no longer US connected. And what is going to happen to this YouTube channel now? The truth is that I am not sure I want to work as an interpreter anymore. although before I come to USA, I work in a Rimini trade fair, and I used to love this work. I work business to business, consecutive and simultaneous interpreter. And I'm now in Italy. The past year, on the top of these challenges that I share, I decided to study. So I'm studying human coaching and NLP programming and how to work with your brain. And I'm focusing on my second YouTube channel where it's about brain capacity, emotional intelligence, resilience, brain flexibility. So you could subscribe. It's called True Mind Evolution. I will pin it above. So if you want, you could subscribe if you want to know about how I develop my brain to speak so many languages. And there is different things about to come on this YouTube channel talking about emotional intelligence and developing of your brain capacity, or so-called brain flexibility. So I'm been focusing on that. I have been studying for the past year. I take a Spanish class, Italian class, and also I'm studying one master in University of Pegaso. I'm studying human coaching. So I could get better at sharing my knowledge with you. And I always wanted to do this, so now it's like a good time for me. Anyways, long story short, the changes that you are gonna see on this YouTube channel, I still wanna share with you information, and I still wanna talk about languages and learn languages and grow as a linguist and whatnot, independently what kind of work I will do. As I said, I'm not very keen to interpreting anymore. I am more interested in doing other things. Once I finish my master, I'm gonna look for a full-time job as an employee. So maybe master, maybe management, maybe international relations. I don't know. Maybe a receptionist. I am not looking to be very successful, because success, it's a thing for me at this point. It doesn't really matter. I feel successful every day, every morning that I wake up here in Italy, and I am no longer related to USA. I feel successful to breathe here, to be far away of this abusive scam that I witnessed in USA. I feel successful today with no job and with living very humble and very simple life. So success, I believe, it's who you are, and not what you do. Success is being proud of who you are, and I am proud of who I am. So said that, in this channel I'm gonna keep creating videos related to languages. I will focus more on language learning. I always wanted to do a medical interpreter training 9-body system, and I have part of those trainings ready. I just have to elaborate them and just publish them. I used to have a platform which is still on, Thinkific, where I sell bilingual trainings. I am planning to close this platform and move all the videos here on YouTube. So if you want to get specific terminology knowledge, I'm gonna create a subscriber groups for different languages where you can purchase those classes, because I haven't been able to find a platform that is hosting a video training courses that is flexible and simple as I want it. I have experienced some difficulties with Thinkific platform myself. So it's very expensive, this platform. I pay about €1,000, $1,000 a year approximately, or a little bit less, 800 something, maybe 900. But I don't earn this money. It's expense for me, and I'm not working now, so I cannot afford to keep it on for you. Right now, the classes on these platforms are free. So even if I have some sales there, I never arrive to cover the expense for the platform. So I will close it, so you can take advantage of it as long as it's available, I would say so. And on this YouTube channel, you're gonna keep seeing videos related to languages, language learning, mastering languages. I'm gonna keep creating in Bulgarian, Italian, Russian, Macedonian, English, and Spanish. I feel like my Spanish is better now, and that's what you can expect here. I decided to create this video to explain somehow the changes that you see and the fact that you don't see me live and why. And that's about it. Thank you guys for being here. And I also want to share something with you. Like when I moved to Italy, I was thinking, part of me was thinking, who is gonna watch me? I declined the job that every person dream of, and most of people wouldn't understand why money is not so important to me. I have other values. Most of the people would criticize me and maybe mock me or shame me for this choice or not approve it, because most of the people are not on my level. This is the truth. Most of the people would never have this job offer, and most of the people would never have the strength and resilience to hold the boundary with such a powerful agency like this, with such a powerful country as USA. So I am not expecting you to understand my decision to move to Europe. It's personal choice. And yes, in the beginning of last year, when I moved here, I was thinking, who is gonna watch me? Who is gonna care about my YouTube channel? Who is gonna care about my language knowledge or what I like to share, my authenticity or truthfulness? I am no longer in USA. And I recognize, like, part of me was believing that people would watch me because I was in the USA, and because USA has such a powerful influential power to create this fantasy of dreamland, of a good place to be at or to live at. And I also had that fantasy. I never imagined that USA could be unsafe and dangerous place. And this is why I moved there on the first place. And after having the experience that I had for 10 years, I can say that I would never recommend this country to anybody that I love or care for. But everybody have their own experiences, and everybody have rights to stay where they feel they fit, where they feel welcome, and where they feel appreciated, valued for their abilities and what they can do. For me, I was not valued, I was not welcome, I was not appreciated. Actually, the opposite. I was daily pushed by the employees of this country to leave USA for about 3 years, with endangering my life, my property, violating tons of human rights, violating American Constitution if you want to. So for me, it was no longer safe, and I left, and I am proud of this. I am happy I'm no longer there, and everybody have their own rights to stay where they feel they belong. I don't belong there. I did not belong, and for this reason, I think the second reason is because of how I was bullied at work and mobbed and offended and harassed and put down daily. I am a little bit probably afraid to work as an interpreter in Europe, because I don't want to take this abuse anymore, because for me interpreting is now linked to abuse. Extreme bullying, extreme complaining, and this extreme harassing. And probably I do fear working as an interpreter right now, despite that I think I'm good at it. I was very good at it. In Europe, I receive a lot of compliments at my work. I have never received any of those bullying, complaining, harassing me, and stalking me, and aggressoring me work. environment, if I can call it like that. So I do fear, I feel insecure in a way, because 10 years of psychological abuse does its work. And also because I stop enjoying providing interpreter services, I stop enjoying it. Yeah, I stop seeing the good about it. It has been really bad for me for the 10 years that I live in USA. And I will add to this, guys, that the reason I created this YouTube channel is because of this extreme abuse that I receive at work, particularly from a company called Siracom. I was stuttering. I started to stutter, and I started to have challenges to speak. On the top of that, I receive abuse from the society and the few people around me who would put me down and mock me and bullying me and interrupt me every time I speak. So I have never been so low in my life like I was in USA. And I created this YouTube channel not out of confidence and not out of security, not out of bragging, not out of, look at me, I speak that much languages. I created out of brokenness, because I was broke. I created this channel because I started to fear speaking. I started to fear talking and saying what I think, because I was so devalued and not appreciated persistently, and this was affecting me. And because I wanted to cure my stuttering, I said to myself that if I speak loud, calmly with myself and slowly, it doesn't matter if you guys don't watch, I would do it to stop stuttering, just for me. And because I have been receiving so much hate right from the beginning, in 2016 I'm talking, in USA, I was sure that I will receive tons of negative and bully comments, which actually happened in the beginning. And honestly, when I upload the first videos related to code of ethics for interpreters, I was very happy that nobody watched them, that nobody can see me, because I was fearing this hate. I was fearing that also from this channel I'm gonna receive the hate that I was receiving from the US society, my work environment, and everyone around me. And I'm no longer afraid of this, thanks to God, or thanks to me, because I did a lot of self-work and growing. So if you want to prove me wrong, and if you want to tell me that you watch me because you appreciate my effort and my work independently, if I went on the top and I decided to walk down the ladder from success to being just humble me, because I think it's beautiful to be humble me, you could press like. If you are a person who understands that there are things that are more important than just money, you could press like. If you believe in dignity and education and human rights and personal growth and self-development, and if you want to just grow somehow, you could practice some of those NLP exercises that I practice with me by subscribing on the on my second YouTube channel called True Mind Evolution, where I'm starting to share with you different intellectual topics, particularly journaling, NLP exercises, how to reprogram your brain and leave some space for development, give some air, give some healthy time to your brain, how to become more successful, more productive more focused if you want to, more confident if you want to. So in this second YouTube channel, I'm gonna start, and I'm starting to share my shames, what I'm being, why I have been so insecure, and despite my level, and my personal shame journey with you as a part of a self-programming, self-developing, and time to grow exercises. I hope this video explained to you guys the changes that you have been seeing. You understand what has been going on in this YouTube channel. You understand why there has been some inconsistencies, and but I'm here, and I am very grateful that you guys also here. I'm gonna keep creating, because loving languages doesn't stop with saying no to a job, and loving languages doesn't stop with moving to another country. Thank you for being here. Ciao.